So good evening guys and welcome to another Monday evening OTL. It is all tight at the championship as we head into round 12 and our third sprint format of the calendar. Mr. Rage leads the way in the championship battle on 242 points, but Mike hot on his heels on 241, 1 point separating our drivers with 6 races to go, 7 including tonight. We've got Con as well in there, Irish Nude Potato in P3 and 210 points, only 30 points behind, so he's not out of this yet. Mikey got a bit of a stronghold now in P4, he's on 183. Nelly in P5 on 158, so Mikey got a 25 point advantage. Rob Wills in P6 on 155, he's had a tremendous season. Then we get Ryan Sam in P7 on 153, Chubby Slug P8 on 151, Ian TXJ P9 on 125, Chris Taps P10 on 114, F Lewis P11 on 108, Ranger P12 on 79, Shiv P13 on 76, Skarma P14 71, Nick P15 on 70, Greenfingers P16 on 69, Connor Kid P17 on 66, Pedro P18 on 64, Mick P19 on 63, SPW P20 on 61, Dixie P21 on 51, Jock P22 on 13, Schlee P23 on 12, Mitch P24 on 12 as well, and Nadim P25 on 9. Red Bull lead the way in the Constructors' Championship. They have an 11 point advantage to the McLaren boys. So the fight is on between Red Bull and McLaren. That's Mike and Rob Wills against Nude Potato and Mikey. So a very even Constructors fight there. Then we get Mercedes in third on 328. Sprint format tonight. So of course up first, a very high impact one shot qualifying session that I will do my best to keep on top of. It's not easy. Let me turn this off. Evening, Mikey, Nick, Rob, Mick and ENTXJ. Welcome, welcome, good luck this evening, gentlemen. I hope you have a good race. Good evening, young Mike. Our championship defender. So the guys will get a little minute, they'll get their setups on. Alternate strat and feature 25% races can be a little bit OP. That's food for thought for drivers. Otherwise, get through the first couple of laps clean, but then sprints are funny. I hate to tell drivers to go be aggressive, but it's qualifying, right? You're qualifying within a race format, so if you do not get the overtakes made, you're not going to gain any positions. So, tough choices ahead for the guys and what they do. But the important one is that fight up front. Rage, Mike, Nude Potato sneaking up in there as well, so he's not one to count out. So we are on board first with Ryan Sam, so Ryan will do. He's in P10 and he is on the medium tyre. I'll get some data up. As he comes nice and flat through to 1, takes apex, very nice. And into 3, tucks it up nicely to the apex. Had to double take on the throttle, he was just a bit early in the power, but he's still hooking up a very good sector 1 here to inside the top 10 in the first sector on the medium compound tyre. I think he'll be very happy. We'll drop down now to Mr. SPW, I think he's up to P11, the Alpine man. Into Luffield he goes, keeping the car on track. Another driver going for that alternate strategy. But the fight up front, look at, where is Mr. Rage? Mr. Rage only in P11 on the soft compound tyre. He's having a mare. Mike is up front. What tyre is Mike on? That is an important question. Where is Mike and what is he on? Well, Mike's going to be further up. We've got some invalidators further back. Mike on the soft compound tyre, but here's streaking ahead. But Mikey is right in this one. So Mikey and Mike heading up to the line pretty evenly, as is Connor Kid. Connor Kid right in the fight of this as well. And we've seen Connor Kid, when he does turn up, have some very good pace. But F. Lewis now sneaking into P3, but he falls down a couple of positions now. Rob Wells has got up onto that second row of the grid, so I think it's going to be Mike for pole. Mikey's not going to be a million miles away though. Mike takes pole. It's 4/10 gap to Mikey, and then look at the times from there. Nick sneaks into P3, Rob Wells P4, Connor Kid P5, Chris Tap 6, F. Lewis 7, Mr. Rage P8. Shiv P9, Ryan Sam 10, SPW 11, Skarma P12, Mick 13, Nude Potato 14, ENTHJ 15, Nelly, Dixie and Chubby Slug all getting lap invalidations. So the championship battle, Mike, who's 1 point behind Rage in P1, Rage P9. And Nick got that lap half a second off the pace on the medium compound tyre, so he's going to be one to watch for sure. New Potato as well, he'll be a driver coming through. So let me actually scroll through. I should give Jensen a little look at that sprint qualifying. There's the bottom of the grid, young man. Grab yourself a little juice. And we'll get ready for what will be 25% of Britain. I think it is 13 laps. It is 13 and 26. So I have my refreshment. Race is looking relatively dull, but that's just British weather, I presume. So, will it be an instant get-go for the drivers? No real reason to wait. They've got their setups on, their tyre choice. I guess the guys outside the top 10 maybe want to change, but it's only one quick change over. But we will not. We are going straight for the formation laps. That's what we like to see. So, for row 1, or the rows for a sprint race at Britain, 13 laps coming up. High impact Shiv and SPW already disqualified from the session. That is not going to help their start to the race at all. So row 1 we have Mike and Mikey. Row 2 Nick and Rob. Nick of course on that medium compound tyre. Row 3 we have Connor and Kristaps. Row 4 F. Lewis and Rage. Row 5 Shiv and Ryan Sam. Row 6 SPW and Skarma. Row 7 Mick and Nude Potato. Row 8 Nelly and Dixie. And on row 9 we have ENTXJ and Chubby Slug. I think Merkel came into the lobby, so we may see him make an appearance for the feature race. As the guys head up to Cops Corner on their formation lap. And Mike not hanging around. And there's a bit of a gap here. And Rob is in AI, which I'm not sure what's happening here. I think maybe has control of the car now. He does. And Rob will close the gap. He always does. He's not dead man. Maybe having himself a little tinkle break. Or grabbing a drink, which I totally respect. Now is the time. If you want to get it done, it's the time to go do it. You can always close the gap at the end of the lap anyway. So, good luck to everybody. Keep your noses clean at turn 3. Careful through 1 and 2 as well. It's a high speed corner even off the start. Cautious of guys on your inside if you're going for an outside line getting understeer. Cars are a bit on more fueling. And keep your heads down and have a very, very good race. Let me leave it on position changed. For now, it's a good bit of data to have at the start of the race, especially doing comms on Method. It will flick to Chubby Slug. He's going to be the last man to take up a grid slot. And we will watch him slot into line, and there he goes. We see the Mercedes pull to a stop. You see that? Almost the grid click into place. And our sprint race at Britain will have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's lights out and they're away, and it's a very good start from a front row. But look at Nick in the medium compound tyre. He's at an electric start. We'll go to Nick, try and change the broadcast cam, and we'll watch as he comes through turn 1. Mikey got through on Mike into turn 1, so Mikey leads the way off the start of the race. And who's that behind? Connor Kid having a good look at Nick at the moment. Kristaps is there as well, and Mr. Rage has managed to get himself up to P6 off the start. Rob Wills down 3 positions, he's lost out massively. We've got Mick and Skarma managed to gain a couple of positions, but into left field we go for the first time. And look at Connor Kidd, he's going to try and look up the inside, but it's not going to come this time around. We'll go on board with Mike as he hunts back at Mikey, and could we see a Hamilton Verstappen 2.0 coming up? I think Mikey's going to defend that off. Mike is trying to push on, but Mikey will cover that off into Cox for the first time. And are they committed? They are pretty much committed. A half lift for the guys even in the first lap of the race, so pace is there in the car. What's happening further back? We've got Rob Wills going backwards some more. Is Rob Wills out of the race? Has he just struggled to get going? There's Rob. Let's see, stay with the McLaren, man. We'll see if there's anything going on. He doesn't look to have any damage. Oh, I think he does. He may. Oh no. Yeah, he does. So Rob Wills going to box. Good thing is he can go to the medium tyre now and go to the end of the race. It's not over. And who's that? Who's that? What happened to Mikey? Mikey just went off with massive violence into the last corner. Not quite sure what's happened there. Has he picked up any damage? And Mikey gets a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, so that's something that he will probably look to get removed, because they had a massive incident there. What the hell happened to Mikey? So Nick now on his medium compound tyre up to P2 in the race. And the full grid down to P15, still in DRS range of each other. So the pace at the moment is very, very even. Look at Nelly on the back of Skarma. That's a small, one of the smallest gaps on the field at the moment. We'll go on board with our 2-time race winner this season. Oh, no, I'm gonna stop. Nelly, if you watch this back, I am sorry, mate, but I just can't give you camera time. That's some kind of bullshit. I'm sorry, excuse the language. So Ryan, Sam, I don't mean to snap away from that chat, but for anybody that's watched for the last couple of weeks and stayed with the full race, you will understand exactly why that hurt me a little bit though. And it's nothing against Nelly, it's actually more against me. So DRS enabled, and a gap starting to form. Mick falling off of that. Our P9 man, is he going to use a little bit of energy to try and creep himself back up into that DRS range? He needs it if he wants to stay in the fight, otherwise these guys will really just start to open the gaps. F. Lewis as well, has he managed to stay in? He has at the moment. But look at Mr. Rage. Mr. Rage up 3 positions already, he's up to P5. And the lead of the race is just up the road. So, Skarma, how's he getting on? Oh, he picks up his first time penalty of the race. He hardly even pushed the limits there as well. Nice and aggressive through Magus and Beckett's. Misses his apex of Beckett's just a little bit, but still gets out the corner very well. He's a couple of tenths up on his PB as well, so Skarma going along just nicely. Ryan Sam looking to make gains in F. Lewis. Ryan Sam on the medium compound tyre as well, so what is Mr. Rage on? He opted for the soft compound. That's interesting. Nick now with the fastest lap of the race. Let's go to a man in P2 hunting down Mike. So can Nick close that gap down? It looks like he wants to. So could we see our first overtake here? Up hanger straight for the first time today. Although Mike gets a very good exit. So nothing happening there. Let's go a little further back. Ryan Sam not able to gain an F Lewis either. Bear with me 1 second, please, chat. So back chat, let's see what's happening. Connor kid out on the back of Nick. Nick is struggling just a little. Oh, and VSC out. Why is that? And Nelly gets a drive through penalty for speed. Why did he get that drive through so quickly? And the VSC is cleared almost instantly. Maybe I missed that. Maybe I'm just back and I've only realised what was on. So apologies for that one, chat. Mr. Rage on the back of Chris Staps now. Nick takes to the pits. Did Nick get some damage, or is he getting onto the soft compound tyre? I'm going to go for track position, of course. We've seen this last night. If anybody watched the channel, the undercut did not pay off so well because traffic became a big issue. Long old pit stop at Britain, you end up really far down the order. And Nelly picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding the pit lane. He's in enough for today. Hopefully he stays around for the feature race. Mick, SPW and Nude Potato here. They're all in a bit of a fight. They're making gains in the race. And SPW very committed through cops. Can he stay close enough to Nude Potato here? So here he goes. He is on the charge, and here comes SPW. I think he's going to try and make the move here. Nude Potato's going to cover off that inside line. SPW try and roll the car up towards him and take a better apex speed, but he's going to go to the pits, so he needs to be careful not to get himself a penalty. And look at that, just as we go on board with Mick, we see Matoman sliding it round the outside. A good little move there from Mike now into the pits, so this is going to be the interesting one between Mike and Nick, but I think Mike is going to be ahead. Oh, maybe not. Oh yeah, I think he will just maintain track position. Here comes Nick, look at this. Mike will cover that off. Nick will try and roll it all the way around the long way. And here goes Nick on the inside line through 4. Mike still staying there though, he has a bit of a moment. The medium tyre has got the grip. Who get the DRS? Nick gets it. So Mike will need to tuck in for now. And of course Nick has that soft compound tyre to just use the grip now to pull away. We've got a yellow flag. Who is that? A shift had a bit of a moment. Could these guys be praying for a bit of a safety car? And then they go to the pits. Nude Potato, Chubby Slug, Mick I think will be coming in as well. No, Mick continues on. Chubby Slug gets a 5-second time penalty for a severe collision with Nude Potato. I think he did hit the back of Con getting into the pits there. So Mick takes over the lead of the race. By quite a margin as well. Shame you need to pit, because Nick would have a nice healthy lead. Mick, sorry, would have 15.5 seconds ago. Nick still staying in the fight though. Mike, sorry, Connor Kidd is still here as well, as is Mr. Rage. Good evening people who are joining us, welcome, welcome. Hope you're all well. Another sprint format in OTL. What's going on further back here? The two Alpine guys having a bit of a fight. Chubby Slug will go for the cutback. They both have the DRS. Who's got the better straight line speed? Mataman will try and hold it on the inside line here. SPW now look for the switchback. Can he go the long way round on the outside? But Mataman with the exit gets that position for now. But SPW, is he going to try and come back at him here? He is not this time around, so Mataman now gaining on Nude Potato. As Mick picks up a time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And we've got a yellow flag. I think that's Rob Wells. He's having a bit of a mare at the moment, so here we go. We'll see the two Alpine men. Mataman will pull to the inside line of Con. Can SPW find a way through here in this fight as well? Nude Potato, of course, on that medium compound tyre. Mick into the pits. He will start to fall back down the order. Nick's got that gap out front to over a second. As we see here, look at SPW now come down the inside. Con a little later on the brakes, but SPW now go for that tighter line again. Con leaves the space on the inside, but SPW not able to make it stick that time around. Let's go to this Mr. Rage. Connor Kidd battle. Rob Wills retires in the pits. He will look to the feature race to have a better time. Rob, if you're in the chat, did anything bad happen to you, or... So Mike got himself back inside the DRS range of Nick at the moment. And he is still trundling along nicely. Both these guys absolutely spent on the energy. Scum are picking up another time penalty for multiple warnings. We're going to come down to 3 laps to go. Oh no. What was that from a curb, Rob? What damaged the floor? Chubby Slug and Skarma do a bit of battle. Ah, damn. That's unfortunate, man. It's really rough that the game's giving out floor damage for wheel-to-wheel contact, alright? Like, that is harsh. Especially under floor damage. So here we go, a bit of overtaking about to happen. SPW is going to get the run on Scammer. He'll come to the inside line. We've got Chubby Slug as well. Looking to the inside of F. Lewis. F. Lewis, of course, no DRS. He'll try and hold it in the outside all the way round the long way at Lovefield. He'll give him the inside line. And F. Lewis has a big oversteer moment and kicks himself out of the corner quite dramatically there. And he will fall back down the order just a little bit. And somehow Scammer managed to keep SPW at bay for now. Nelly, it's like we're connected at the moment. I don't understand. I'm sorry. I try and give you TV time and this is what happens, mate. I don't know. You're like messing with my brainwaves or something. SPW now, this is the exit he was looking for, and he'll go big on the inside on Scammer. Gets a nice move there on the brakes. He'll check that up, just ensure the position changes, sticks, sorry, and manages to keep Scammer at bay on the exit. Mr. Rage now could be looking at P3, but I think his main aim is defending off that penalty. Yeah, Nelly, I can only apologise. I don't understand. I don't understand what happens. F. Lewis mixed ENTX. Oh, that's the spirit. Maybe that's what's missing, Nelly. Maybe that's going to bring out the beast. We just need to have fun with it. It was your season. It was when you were having fun in the wheel aggression and with Mike that you really enjoyed and you thrived in it. So maybe that's what's missing. SPW and Scammer go at it again. Scammer somehow gets back through in SPW. Scammer trying to defend that off, and look at this. SPW, we've got Irish Nude Potato. He'll come, they'll go 3 wide at the top of Hanger Straight. SPW gets a bit of that. Con also gets through, but Scammer is still looking back. He's on that high line into the last couple of corners. Who's this as well? Mick coming for a little nosy in the inside. We've got F. Lewis trying to get involved, and ENTXJ. And look at that, the Aston Martin Scammer. He tried to go up the inside of Con into the last corner, but it's not going to come this time around. And there's some tremendous racing going on at the further back in this grid as we go on to down 2 laps to go. They know this is for position. Every opportunity counts as F. Lewis goes for a big move into 3. Mick will get the cut back there and hold the outside line. F. Lewis now just needs to get the touch, and Mick goes round. F. Lewis goes round trying to get the car underway, and that is going to be sprint race over. And look at ENTSJ Mick here. He's got energy on reserve, but he's not going to make the move, but he feints Mick into going deep. Mick deep at Lovefield, can he go round the outside line now? I don't think he's going to get it. Can ENTSJ get the run on up to Cops? I don't think it's going to be, because Mick holds that tighter line. He'll be able to get his car back in front, but Jay will pull back to the inside line. Here goes Jay. He's going to go up the inside at Cops, and that's a tremendous place to get the move done. Good job there from Jay. The only thing is now, has he compromised the DRS from the guys in front? He's over a second behind. I think he's maybe just managed to sneak back in there before the detection zone, but if not, I think Mick's going to come straight back through. He did not, so Mick's going to come straight back through. What's happening further ahead? We've got Scammer trying to make gains on Nude Potato, but I think that guy, that fight is spent all this energy. But look at Jay, tries to roll the car back up the inside. Mick's going to hold it. They'll go 2 wide into the last couple of corners. Mick's still staying in the inside, and they're being very respectful here. Plenty of space given, and ENTXJ manages to get Mick to yield. But there is still a lap to go. This is not over. Dixie retires from the session for speed in the pit lane. Don't understand why he retired from the pit. Maybe he's got something happening. Whatever you do, Adam, do not leave. So, opportunities are rising. Nude Potato and SPW, he's going to wait. Nude Potato will hold the energy back. SPW will defend it on the inside. The Con will try and roll it all the way around the long way, but the grip's just not in the medium tyre. He is trying to fight. Yeah, absolutely bonkers. Nelly, absolute crack. And Con is not finished with this. He is absolutely not finished, but Mike Mike ahead, has he got enough in the tank to gain on Nick? He's on that major cup of time, and look at this, is Mike going to go for it on the inside? He's going to try and get it in, Nick puts him round. It was a late opportunistic move from Mike, and he ends up round. And Connor Kidd's going to get himself up to P2. Mr. Rage will get P3. Nick is going to win the Grand Prix. It was a late last gap move from Mike, and it's all over. Nick takes the checker flag. Connor Kidd P2. Mr. Rage gets P3, and I think Mike will just miss out in P3, still P4. At least he went for it. I respect it. He still gave it a go. Kristaps will come home in P5. Ryan Sam P6. Nude Potato will get the better of the SPW battle. He's in P7. SPW P8. ENTX JP9. Skarma 10. Mick 11. Eflus 12. Mikey P13. Shiv P14. Then we've got Dixie, Chubby Slug, Robbos, and Nelly. Oh. Whew, that hurt my lungs. So let's see quickly. I'll wait to get the screen up, and then I'll see if we can get our guys in for a quick chat. Nude Potato gets the driver of the day for the game, for the feature race. Of course, the sprint race, no point given for that in the feature. We do give out points to the top 8. Apologies there, chat. My little son came through. So, there we see Nick takes the win on that alternate strategy. Connor Kidd P2, Mr. Rage 3, Mike 4, Kristaps P5, Ryan Sam 6, Nude Potato 7, SPW 8, ENTXJ 9, Skarma P10, Mick 11, Eflus 12, Mikey 13, Shiv 14, Dixie 15, Chubby 16, Robbo 17, and Nelly in P18. Shiv. Oh man, Mick says ENTXD for J. Yeah, it was a very good fight. The race was kind of quiet. The last full race, just it all kicked off. So let's see, yes, if we can get who was our top 3 there? Connor, Kidd, Nick, and Mr. Rage in for a quick chat. Ah, the offline bandits. Boo. Bear with us a second, chat. So we will get our top 3 in for a chat. See if they join us for a quick minute on the before they go to the feature race. Nick, a race winner, you join us. I will only keep you a little minute, Nick, because of course you have a feature race to go. Very good job. I was stating, are you here, firstly? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Very good job. I did state pre-sprint race that the alternate strat in these sprints seems to be quite powerful. And a selection of tracks, so I assumed it would be the same. The undercut snapped off brilliantly because you get out just with Mike, and of course having the tyre advantage of being in the softs at the end. And then Mike goes for that last effort at the top of Hangar Straight. I think he knows himself it was an effort, but I said in the end, I respect him for trying.
Yeah.
He only messed himself over and left you to kind of take the win. Happy?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I knew that alternate strat was powerful anyway. It was just making sure that in that one shot I can get a good lap in, and P3 was close to the front enough. Box early. We were fighting actually on the exit, which was pretty fun, but yeah, no, that last lap, I think the gap was a bit too narrow. I was fully on the inside, and he just wanted to go a bit inside, but it's fine. I hope there's no hard feelings there, but yeah.
Oh no, I don't think so. I think he would be if he, when he looks back at it, maybe angry at the time, but if he looks back on it, I don't think he can have be upset about it at all. Honestly,
Yeah.
it was, as Martin Brundle would say, a day late and a dollar short.
Yes, yes.
But very good job, Nick. I will let you get on, and very good luck in the feature race. I wish you all the best, and let's
Cheers, mate.
maybe
Thank you.
speak afterwards again.
Yes, hopefully, yes.
Good luck,
Thank
mate.
you.
Rage, the Connor
Yes.
kid. I don't think Connor kid joined us. He did not. So I'll just go to you, Rage. Yeah, you stole a P3 and ended up through Mike's opportunistic move, but I think the elephant in the room was the abysmal one-shot qualifying.
Yeah. I picked the wrong setup. Or should I say, I didn't pick a setup. I forgot what buttons are on my wheel, and I pressed the wrong button.
Oh,
And
damn.
instead of selecting a custom setup, it went ready unbalanced. So
Oh.
I'm pretty happy, considering what setup I was using. It
Well,
was not fun going through the old term one and maggots and Beckett's.
do not forget that going forward. That could be a disaster. 13 laps
Yeah.
is bad enough. I don't think doing 26 would be nice on a balanced setup. But still P3 and
Yeah,
points gain on Michael. That's what matters.
yeah. That was. I was just surprised to see a yellow flag and then see Mike behind. I'm like, keep that 3 seconds because I had a 3 second penalty.
Yeah, and of course you get that by 2/10 at the line, so you just snuck that in there.
Yeah, just.
So very good job, Rage. I will let you go and get focused on your feature race, and good luck. Don't
Thank
forget
you.
your setup.
Nah, I won't.
Right, good luck, mate.
Yeah, you do. There it is.
Apologies for the little lull of silence there, chat, again. My kiddies through trying to give me mischief. But we have them settled now, and we will get ready for what is 26 laps. Free tyre choice for every driver on the grid as well. So that can make it rather interesting. Want me to join? Why? Why would they want to join? $36, you said that 5 minutes ago. So just talking to Mr. Adam at the moment, chat, see if he needs any information. Holy shit balls. Oops, just one chat. My bad, chat. So, very good battling there. SPW, Nude Potato, Connor Kid. Might maybe did not so good about that in the end. And of course, we have Merkel joining in at the end, or for the start of this feature race. And of course, you've got to take a totally different attitude now. So we just get confirmation that Nike got a 10-second time penalty that would be removed, so he will go into P9, which is not so bad. Getting back with the game to get off of him. And I think, chat, I'm going to grab myself a little chocolate brownie before we go, because why the hell not? So, free tyres for every driver on the grid. And I think the 5 minutes is just about up. Let me see when Adam called that. Yeah, we'll be going in just a minute. So back to the stream. How are we all? Drivers, any drivers in the chat, tell me how you're feeling for the race ahead. Hope you're feeling good things. Fuzzy things. Happy things. Or just misery. Nelly, if you're still watching, I promise to not spectate you at all for the full race. And if you're in the battle for the lead, it looks like we're just not going to be looking at the lead. Because I don't know what's happening at the moment between myself and yourself, but I do not seem to be doing you any favours at all, sir. So, very nice, clear weather, which is a good sign. The guys will not want to do any rain racing, and of course rain racing makes racing pretty difficult. So we want the dry weather for a nice juicy one, chat. So we do. And then the 26 laps will roll in just a little bit quicker. do we have? Oh, let's go peek actually, chat. We can peek at tyres. So Nick and Connor mediums, Rage, Mike, Kristaps on the softs, right? Sam on the mediums, Nude Potato on the softs, SPW mediums, then we get Mikey, Ian, TXJ, Skarma on the soft compound tyre, then Mick, F. Lewis, Shiv, Dixie, Chubby, Rubbles, Nelly and Merco all set to start the race on the medium compound tyre. But of course we don't have a timer yet, so that may not be the case. Somebody could change right at the end. It could just be try to bluff somebody in front. Bear with me 1 second, I think I've been shooted. So, off on the formation lap we go. Let's have one more sneaky peek at the tyres just to see and look at that. Everyday bar Kristaps and Skarma now onto that medium compound tyre. So the feature race, row 1 of the grid will be Nick and Connor, row 2 Rage and Mike, our championship protagonists. Row 3 will be Kristaps and Ryan Sam, row 4 Nude Potato and SPW, row 5 Mikey and ENTXJ, row 6 Skarma and Mick, row 7 F. Lewis and Shiv, row 8 Dixie and Chubby, row 9 Rob Wills and Nelly, and row 10 on his lonesome at the back there, Merco joins us for the feature race as we head through cups on the formation lap. So we see the grid getting bundled up there. We'll go on board with Mr. Merco at the back of the grid. Be interesting to see how he gets on. There's somebody having a bit of an excursion. Mikey having a bit of a spin. So the grid checks up. Guys will do the last little bum outs. Mikey goes flying past everybody. Luckily he's ghosted. The computer is taking over. So we'll stay with Merco as he comes round. Final chicane. Game in control, of course, to slot you into your grid slot. And then we will get ready for lights out at our feature race at Silverstone. So Merco takes his place. We'll watch from the front as our feature race at Britain will get set to go. We have 1 lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's lights out in the getaway, and Mike from third row on the grid. He's getting some really good starts on that medium compound tyre. He's going to go round the long way and Connor Kidd into turn 1. Oh, and Connor Kidd has a big snap oversteer moment. He's going to have to get out of that massively, so Mike will be able to come on turn P2 into turn 3. Mr. Rage has managed to get clear in P3. We've got Irish Nude Potato P4, Ryan Sam P5. Let's go to position change so we see exactly who has gained where. So we have Mike, of course, gaining a couple of positions, and he's going to put the fight on now with Nick. These guys are going to go to town, I think, for the duration of the race. Nude Potato and Mikey, both big gainers at the start of the race. Chubby Slug and Dixie managed to gain some positions. SPW, did he have a moment? Has he got no wing? I think he's okay at the moment. Oh no, he's definitely got damage on the car. So we will filter back through, but on board with Merco now. He's just taking his time at the moment. But here comes Dixie and Skarma. Dixie going for that tighter line. Off the Beckett's exit. Can he make a move at the top of Hanger Straight? He's not going to be able to. Skarma dives into the apex quite aggressively as we filter further up the grid. We'll go to Connor Kidd as we see Kristaps ahead, making a move round the outside of Ryan Sam. A bit of wheel banging there, but Kristaps gets through. Mike sits the fastest lap of the race, and Connor Kidd now will look on the exit of the last corner. But here comes Nelly. He's going to go in the inside into turn one, and Nelly making some big gains. He's up 10 positions already, and he's feeling much more comfortable. Straight away here, he goes nicely into three. Small bit of contact between him and Ryan Sam. Hopefully no damage, and he will continue on. Skarma picks up the first time penalty of the race. Let's get intervals up now and see as we go through lap 2 exactly where the opportunities will arise. And Mr. Ray's looking very comfortable at the moment. Mike has got through Nick. So Mike up ahead at the moment. We've got Nick P2, Mr. Rage P3, but Nude Potato now up to P4, Mikey up to P5, Chris that's P6. Ryan Sam P7, Nelly P8, Connor Kidd P9 and Chubby Slug rounding out the top 10 after 2 laps of racing. Connor Kidd all over the back of Nelly, but he gets sucked wide on the back Beckett's exit, and now Matterman is on the charge. He's not going to be able to make any moves here, and these guys will just be waiting patiently on the DRS coming into play. Mike setting another fastest lap of the race at the moment, but Nick is not a million miles away. Oh, Nick has a bit of a moment there through one. He has to do a bit of correction steering, and he's got some dirty tyres, so he'll just need to be careful here. It'll cost him a little bit of time. You see Mike just able to find a couple of tenths through the corner as Nick has a big moment on the power, manages to keep the rear car to check. He's got the advantage of DRS to gain the gap down a bit, but look at Rage here. Rage is not going to use any energy at the moment. He's reasonably happy with the pace that they're going at the moment. I think Rage knows as well they're always going to stay with Mike with the DRS. So it's the long game here. As we see our front 5 start to our front 3 actually now. Going to stay in touch for this fight, because if you lose DRS once, they will really start to stretch their legs, and you will not be able to maintain the pace of the guys in front. Con doing his bit to stay in the DRS at the moment. We'll go further down. Chubby Slug here, and Connor Kidd is not going to be able to gain enough. And we get Rob Wills. Has he had a moment? I don't think so. And ENTXJ goes through, and Mick there as Mike sets another fastest lap of the race, but Nude Potato not take that back. Mikey takes that fastest lap on it at the moment. Of course, only in lap 4 of the race, so there's a lot of racing still to go. Oh, and a little bit of contact there between Skarma and F. Lewis. Skarma pushing on, he's trying to make the positions back that he lost early on in the race. Look at the Alpha Tauri boys, having a bit of a battle here for P8 and 9. Nearly also in the back of Ryan Sam at the moment. But we'll go back to this lead fight and look at the trainer cars. They're still pretty much there with each other, the full grid, apart from Dixie and SPW at the moment. So overtakes, when are they going to materialise? It gets tricky at Britain. Of course, you've got to play the long game sometimes. Corner kid picks up a time penalty there for multiple warnings, running wide. Mid Potato sets the fastest lap now, and a 29.9 is Mataman. Guys struggling a little bit on the rear of the car. Temperatures maybe becoming a little bit of a factor for some. Once the temperatures go up in these cars, they're a very hard thing to get back under control while maintaining a good pace. And look at Nick back there in P2, 80% energy. Mike down at 60%. So Mike pulling everybody along at the moment. He's starting to pull the front five with him. Kristaps outside the DRS now of Mikey, so you'll see that 1.5 second gaps from P5 to P6 go up and up and up as we go round and round. Because now Kristaps is the lead of that train from P6 to P10. That'd be Kristaps, Ryan Sam, Nelly, Connor and Chubby Slug. And then we have a bit of a train behind F. Lewis and Merkel, etc. But Merkel will get on board to see mounts and overtaking F. Lewis. And look at that behind, 3 wide, it's Shiv and who else? ENTXJ, Shiv and Skarma, 3 wide. Up the hanger straight there, a little bit of wheel banging going on. But not much could be done. Mr. Rage now sets the fastest lap with a 29.8. That's a 10th faster than our previous at the moment. And look at this, Chubby Slug and Connor Kid having a bit of a fight. Matoman pulling Connor Kid into a fight, of course, has opened the gap, which now is going to allow Matoman to get Connor possible here, because Connor's not going to have DRS. Mataman maybe choosing to wait until Hager straight to get that job done. The thing you don't want to do is give up too much lap time to the train ahead, because the guy behind will just keep coming back at you, so that is something they need to think about. So, Nick not really trying to make the overtake here. Didn't think he was. He wasn't pushing hard enough to really look convicted in an overtake. So I think Mike's just kind of in a controlling phase. But Mike seems comfortable at the moment to lead from the front. I just wonder at all if he'll give a little bit up and start going on a recovery mission of his own energy and let Ray spend a bit. The difference is not massive, it's only 20%, which for being the lead car to hold that energy is not too bad. And we've had a moment. Who's that? Shiv out. This could be a safety car. Yellow flag in sector 1. Are we going to get a full course safety car? It's just a yellow flag sector 1 at the moment. It could trigger later though. And I think that's going to clear, so I don't think that'll be a safety car. Boom. That is a cracking view, Codemasters. Oh, but that's even better. Good sense of speed there as we see the drivers fly through Klopp's corner. What a helmet there for Nelly. Oh, that was a bad statement. It's a very standout helmet. No, that does not work either. Yeah, just leaves Nelly to it, because he is coming for a move on Ryan Sam. It's not going to come this time around. Getting a good exit off the top of the hill though. Ryan Sam and Kristaps able to defend it off at the moment. Kristaps looking to be a little bit of a sitting duck at the moment, I would say. It's nearly the twitch, so I'm going to leave that now. And Nick as close to Mike as he's been, and Nick almost got himself back to a full tank of energy, so... Shiv, what happened? Oh, turn 1 get you? Really, car just go? Rob Wills picks up a team penalty for multiple warning. As we get on board, we next to see Mike having a bit of a wobble on the exit of Cops. And Nick is right up the backside of Mike this time, but Mike gets a very good run off Beckett's. You most definitely can, Mr. Shiv. Give me 1 second. Oh, I don't have your gamer tag, Shiv. Why don't I have you? Oh, we've missed an instant. What happened to Nick? Has Nick dropped it at turn 1? Ah, I went to blue screen at the wrong time. No! So Nick has dropped the car at turn 1 and he is falling down the order. He'll go to P13 at the moment. No, don't be silly, mate. Don't be silly. We can't anticipate when any of this is going to happen. It's just nothing more than some really crap luck. So Dixie picks up a time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and Dixie's race is over for now. So Mikey got himself onto this train, and Mike and Mr. Rage now. Mr. Rage has seized an opportunity. He's seen Nick have that moment, and he's going to go through. But look at Mike, he's going to look to go down the inside. He'll put Rage on that higher line. Mike now will try and get the better traction, but Rage gets a very good exit. He also sits the fastest lap of the race. Mike now, Mike gaining back on Mr. Rage. He'll go down the inside into left field. Can he get the move done? Rage off track a little bit there. He'll try and keep his nose in, but the long route for Mike has seemed to have worked. He'll get the better exit, and now here goes Mr. Rage now on the return of Mike, and it's all starting to kick off at the front of the grid. Shiv, I will do it at ASAP. I just want to stay with the fight while it is happening. Further back as well, we've got Nelly under pressure from Kristaps, but this little battle here between Rage and Mike, our two championship protagonists, is far from over. And of course our P3 man in the championship is getting involved, because Con is right in this fight as well. There goes Mr. Rage as we watch on board from Con. Mr. Rage now retakes the lead of the race up at the top of Hangar Straight. Nude Potato sitting here waiting to pounce. Mikey, of course, last week's race winner, is Con, goes a little bit deep into the second to last corner, and Mr. Rage maintains the lead for now. What is going on here? Connor seemingly getting a bit of a run in Kristaps, but I think Kristaps has got an energy to try and defend that off. We've got a yellow flag at the line. Is that in the pits or on the track? I think that maybe F. Lewis had a moment. He did. I think he's dropped out the last corner. He's having to do a bit of a 3-point turn. He does not want to damage that wing. I don't think he's got any damage, so he can continue without taking a pit stop. So Does Mike come back at Rage here? Rage using a little bit of energy, but Mike, of course, got a bit of an advantage. And I don't even know, but I'm pretty sure Mike was absolutely flat through cops there. Maybe a very small lift. And who gets the better exit off of Beckett's? It seems to be very even between the two, and Mike's going to choose against using any energy at the moment. But Kristaps may not on Nelly, although he's got very little to use, and Nelly has a good bit of energy in reserve to try and defend this off. Don't think Kristaps will get close enough to mount a move, and we see he's got a lot of understeering on board. We see Connor Kidd sneak through into the third to last corner. It very much is. It's game on, Shiv. Absolute game on. Nude Potato now taking the fastest lap of the race, and I think Mikey is the king of let's just wait and see, because he knows something's going to happen. He's got a lot of energy in reserve. And our top four in the championship here at our feature race, all in the train at the front of the grid. Nude Potato now pushing on. Is he going to try and mount an attack on Mike? He's not going to be able to this time around. Mike holds that tighter line, so that will be defended off for the moment. Shiv, if I can get Adam to join, I think Adam's going to join in, and he can maybe get Yancey coming off the fight. He says just give him a minute. That'll allow me to stay with the fight, and then he can get you in, and I'll need to remember. I don't even know why we're not friends yet, Shiv. I don't understand that. So here comes Mike yet again, and he is getting on energy, so he is going to come back through. Mike wants back control of the lead of this race. Up hanger straight he goes, DRS open, through on the inside. How much does Con close up? Although Mr. Rage is not finished with this, is he going to think about a big move into the second last corner? Not this time around. So who wins this race? Well, not even halfway, and they are fighting Mike now with the fastest lap of the race. They are absolutely pushing each other to the limit here. It's not like they're chilling while they're racing, they're constantly setting fastest laps, they're pushing each other on. Nick now with the fastest lap of the race. He's down in P11, though that'll be on a fresh set of medium compound tyres. And does Rage come now for another overtake? Two tenths he gets the gap down to. And Nude Potato's as close as he's been. This could be his time to strike. He's as close to Rage as Rage is to Mike. I think the energy could end up playing the dividends here, because these guys kind of get stuck in a pocket, and Skarma out, that's in the pits. He's had enough for the evening. I was going to say afternoon, but it's far from the afternoon. So, who challenges who now? Mr. Rage, I think, is going to come back again and Mike up hanger straight. We see Rage return the favour. Mike getting the squeeze on just a little bit. And look at that, look at the cutback. Mike went Rage. Rage went deep on the brakes at the top of the straight, and Mike gets a cheeky little cutback up the inside on that tighter line. You can be much more aggressive on the throttle, and that's great car defence. Oh no. So Nude Potato playing the long game as well here. Mikey just keeping that gap at 6 tenths as well. He's not someone to count out at the moment. And this of course would give Red Bull some good gains in the Constructors' battle as well. Oh, and they need to be careful there. That's just the dirt air there. You see the understeer it provokes when you're following that car ahead. It's not too bad. It's not. It doesn't really affect too much. Just you've got to be aware of it, because it can drag you out to penalties just like we've seen there, and I think we're going to see Mr. Rage come back through. Mike, he's not even going to use any energy. In fact, he'll close the DRS very early. They'll go side by side at the top of the straight, but Mike will defend that one off at the moment, and Mr. Rage into the pits. Early stop for Rage. So Mr. Rage will bolt on a soft compound tyre, and to the end of the race he goes. So Shiv, I am going to accept that and get you in now. Bear with me 1 second, chat. Where are you, Shiv? Why didn't I see you? Oh, what the hell? Shiv, I don't see you, bro. Ah. Oh, Shiv, I don't know what's happening there. I don't see you, mate. I do not see your gamer tag at all, bro. And Mr. Rage picks up a time penalty, so I don't want to stay off that for too long. Sorry, Shiv, I don't know what's happening. I need to get Adam in. If Adam joins, I will get him to add you at the party, mate. I have no idea what's happening there. I don't want to stay on a blue screen forever as well. But that's noted, Shiv. I know if that's going to happen again, and once I get you added, mate, and figure out whatever the hell was going on there, I'll just start adding you to the comms party every week, and if it takes your fancy, you can just jump in. I'm always myself anyway, most Mondays, so. And if Adam comes, we'll get you in. We've got Nude Potato now chasing down Mike. How is Mr. Rage getting on? He's 6.4 seconds behind Mick. Mick and Rob Wills having a bit of a tussle. We've not seen these two guys much today at all, but they are doing a bit of battle. Rob Wills starting to make gains, and let's have a look at tyres. I'm intrigued to see exactly who as well. That's the wrong one. So Mr. Rage, Mikey, Chubby Slug, they've all pit. And Chubby Slug, how has he done this? The Chubby Slug is right in that battle. He's only 6 seconds away from Mikey and Rage, so he's right in that fight. That's interesting. Mikey lighting up the sector, setting some PBs as Mick and Rob Wills continue to do the battle. Mick trying to roll it down on the inside. Nothing going to come this time around. Nick now in a bit of a sandwich between Merco and ENTXJ's. Mr. Ray sets the fastest lap of the race in that fresh soft compound tyre. He's got that gap down to 4 seconds to Mick, so he's found a couple of seconds that lap alone. We see Nick here. No DRS, I'm intrigued. Why no DRS? It's interesting. So I wonder when Mike and Nude Potato will choose to box. I assume it's going to be coming up. But let's have a look into the sky. Is the weather changing? Do they anticipate some rain? I don't think so. I think it's going to stay dry for the majority of the race. Mike willing to use a little bit of energy here, so we may see Mike actually about to fall into the pits. So let's look at the leader gap. The gap to Rage is 27.3. My god, this will be close on exit if Mike goes in now. He is not going to, so the gap will come down. So I think by the next lap, Rage will have the net race lead at this point. And Mike managed to open up the DRS gap to Con. Mick and Rob are still going at it. Rob defending with his life at the moment. And of course this battle being rapidly caught up by Rage. And Mick picks up a time penalty for multiple warnings. So where is the next overtake going to happen? Oh, Shiv, it'd be nice to get you in the comms box as well. Comms in your lonesome is not an easy task at all. But Mick and Rob, they're doing battle. Let's just stay with them. They're having a bit of a fight. And Rob is defending his little art out at the moment. Well, we see Mick make the run. Is he going to spend any energy? Pit stops coming up, although Mike and Noob Potato, they've continued on again. Mick thinking about rolling it down the inside. He's not going to be able to this time around. Small wobble on the steering there as well. And what's happened to Merco? Merco, he went round at one. I think he has. I think he may have lost some wing at that as well. And Mr. Rage picks up another time penalty for multiple warnings. And Merco hit the wall hard, and he does. He's got absolutely no wing. So Noob Potato back up in the DRS at Mike, but he has no energy. Mike up to 32%. And the skies are changing, chat. Is the weather coming? Is this why we're seeing no pit stops? Is Jeff saying rain in minutes time? And they feel like the medium tyre just goes to the rain? What is happening here? They're staying out again! They're going to go into lap 20. There's got to be some weather coming in. It's got to be weather. So here comes Mick against Rob. DRS open. Mikey's right in this as well now. And Mikey got the better of Mr. Rage. I wonder if Mr. Rage at the moment, and there's rain. There's rain has come. The guys that box for softs, it's over. Because it's not going to stay light enough to run in 6 laps. The inter tyres will come in. Oh, drama. Drama at Silverstone. The rain has come. Nelly and Connor Kidd and Nick, it's a win. Ian TSG, they're about to get blinders, because if they can see these medium tyres out to the inters, the softs will need to box as well. And then Mr. Rage in the pits, and did he go to a fresh set of softs? Oh, fresh softs on Mr. Rage. So what happens now? How much does the rain come? DRS still enabled, so it's not wet enough yet. Mick has finally got the better of Rob Wills and got through into P8. And look at the rain as it's starting to pepper the track, and the inter tyres are going to come in here. The question is, when? How are these medium tyres getting on? That is the question. Do we still have DRS? Yes, we do. Connor's still in that window of Mike. He's still getting the opportunity to use it. The rain is starting to fall, the grip in the track is changing. You can see Con just being a bit more tentative on the throttle. Further back, we've got ENTXJ gaining on Nick here. And F. Lewis, he's out in the intermediate tyre. He's tried something, but it appears not to be working at the moment. But the intermediate tyre may come in a lap or two's time, so it may not be nothing. Because there we see the rain really starting to hit the track now, and this could be the time. DRS may be about to be disabled at any moment. So I think we're going to have to see these guys get off the slick tyre, and there's going to be drama in these last 5 laps. Is Mike going in? He is not yet. He's happy to continue. So is Con. Is anybody going to pull the trigger this lap? The guys further back, is the weather coming in for them? Do they feel it's time to get in the pits? They're still going. And F. Lewis is out. Could this be a safety car? VSC only. Oh, and that changes everything. So who further back? Who's got the opportunity to get in the pits? Mikey. Could he get a cheap stop here? How long does the VSC come out? Is it intermediate tyres? Yeah, Mikey's going to go in. Mikey's going to try it. He's going to take the cheap stop. And this could be huge at the end of this race. Absolutely massive. Because if the green flag comes for Mikey and Nude Potato and they need to box this lap, Mikey has just got a very, very cheap one. And Ryan Sam picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and there's a lot of guys getting in this VSC. Is it inter tyres for everybody? Is it the time? And look at Mike's rear of the car, he's really struggling a bit. But still, it's no DRS. DRS has not been disabled yet. I'm stunned at that. The track is starting. There it is. DRS enabled. So we've still got DRS, but the track looks in no condition for DRS. But there appears to be no spray, but that is very much a wet circuit. On the intermediate tyres, look how trepidatious Con is being. He is not wanting to push the car at all. So, do the inter tyres gain? That is the question. DRS disabled, so maybe this is the lap Mike's going to go in. Inter tyres are now the tyre to be on. So those guys that stayed out, it's game time. But I think Mikey, Mick, Rob Wells, Chubby Slug, these could have been just one lap too early. I think Mike and Nude Potato, they've got this absolutely spot on. And with just a bit of rain, we're about to see the full complex of the race change, because our top 6 now are in the pits. And these guys are going to be fighting for third position come the end of the session, or come the exit of this pit stop. We go on to 3 laps to go, and Mike's got a couple of second advantage leaving the pits. Nick managing to get the jump there in ENTSG, so Nick up to P4, and on to intermediate tyres we go. And Chubby Slug picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So the gaps now open up, and I think it's going to be very tricky. And we'll probably not see many overtakes happen now come the checkered flag. It is not easy to get them done in Silverstone, especially in the wet. As we watch from just behind the head of Matterman, he is our closest man on track to somebody at the moment, hunting down Rob Wills. He's on the energy, but this is where wet driving becomes a bit of a stalemate in these cars, because everybody harvests that much energy in the corners that you can pretty much use your energy in every straight. Even if you had a bad exit, it's very hard for somebody to actually get alongside. But we'll go to Mike as he comes down to click us down to a couple of laps to go. He's going to put some big distance between himself and Rage. Getting into next week, Mr. Rage down in P14. So don't know what happened to Rage, but he's had a bit of a mare in the closing stages of the last third of the race. And Mike now just extending that lead. Couple of laps to go. Can Jobby Slug get the move done on Rob Wells? Let's have a look at penalties since we're coming out of the closing stages. 6s and 3s for most of the good. Ryan Sam's got 8 seconds. If one of the 5 seconds are speeding the pits, he'll have to hold it, but if not, he'll get away with that, he may get it off. But every driver in front got a 3-second time penalty, so he's pretty much in the position he is. Nelly, if he can find some positions, could make some gains. He's got that gap down to 3.2 seconds. Oh, and that is bold, brave driving there for Nelly. Loses out a little bit of time, but he keeps the car on the road, only just. And I'm going to go away now because Nelly's having a good race at the moment, and I do not want to take that away from him. So Nick now gaining on Connor Kidd. But Mike now got that gap out to 6 seconds. He's in a very happy place in these intermediate tyres at the moment. And Mikey, as it stands, not going to gain anything from the penalties. He's going to be a lone P7. He'll lose out a little bit to the guys in front. Of course, he'll still make gains on Rage. Rage taking a big hit in the championship tonight. That could actually put Con level a little bit ahead of Rage on points. It'll be interesting to see the standings later on this evening once they're done. But Nick within half a second of Connor Kidd. We may see something happen here as we'll go to further back, because Ryan Sam is over the back of Kristaps as well, and Ryan Sam looking punchy in the wet conditions. Oh, and he's going to go for that big cutback. Good exit zone, but Kristaps gets the exit even off the tighter line. And look at this, Chubby Slug all over the back of Rob Wells, fighting hard. These two, they've been going at it pretty much since the wet conditions started. Rob Wells keeping him behind for now. And Matterman try and go round the long way. He will roll it, but Rob Wells, is he going to let him go that way? He'll get the squeeze on, and Chubby Slug picks up a time penalty for that, and he has to stay behind just now. Good racing there between them two, and look at Nick and Connor Kidd here. And Connor Kidd, though, he's very good on the exits, making it very hard for Nick to get the run. So we'll go back to the Chubby Slug Rob Wells fight. The Alpine hunting the McLaren. Ryan Sam picking up a time penalty for multiple warnings, and that will affect his finishing position. Kristaps won't need to get through now at all. Can Chubby Slug get anything done on Rob Wells? And look at this, we got a bit of a fight materialising here between ENTXJ, Nick and Connor Kidd. So the battle for P3 is absolutely on. But oh, and that was the last race. Mike took the checkered flag. Oh my god, chat. So Mike wins in Silverstone. Sorry for being so anticlimactic. Con will take P2. Connor Kidd and Nick and ENTSJ. Look at this to the line. ENTSJ trying to sneak up the inside. He has all the commitment in the world. It'll be Nick P4, ENTSJ P5. Nelly will bring home P6, and I am ecstatic for that P6 for Nelly. Mikey will get a solid job in P7. The guys are all having tremendous moments out the last corner. Mick coming round now, he's another one to get the tail out over the line. He is not going to be. Rob Wells will come home P8, Chubby Slug gets P9, Mick P10, Ryan Sam will be P11, but he'll fall behind Kristaps to P12. Kristaps will get P11, Ryan Sam P12. Merkel will come home in P13 after having that moment at turn 1, he showed some good turn of pace as well, as he's just, I think, enjoying the conditions as he comes towards the line. Round he comes to the line, Mr. Rage as well. Not the race he would have been hoping for, and SPW bringing up the rear of the field in P15, but points nonetheless as he runs into the back of the Red Bull there. So we will add a top 3, but I will wait to Nelly gets the driver of the day, thoroughly deserved as well. I managed to spectate him for a second, and I may not telekinetically put him on the wall, so or telepathically, whatever you call it. Feels good. So we will see if we can get a top 3 in for a chitty chat. Mike, Nude, Potato, and Connor Kid will just need to join. Although Connor Kid being a reserve, I guess it's Nick. I'll do a scroll through though. We will get everybody in, so Jensen can see it all. And then we will add young Mike and Con to the party. So Mike takes the wing, Noob Potato P2, Connor Kid 3, Nick P4, Ian THJ5, Nelly P6, Mikey P7, Rob Wilson 8, Chubby Slug P9, Mick P10. Good evening, Mike. Bear with me 1 second, sir. So, sorry, apologies there, Mike, for the little wait. We'll just start with you since you're the only man to join. You are our feature race winner, but there is one thing we have to speak of first, and that is the sprint race. And I respect it, you know, last lap, you see the gap. There is a gap there. You go for a big move on the brakes. Ultimately, not quite paying off. I think it's one of the ones sometimes you get through, and other times you're maybe always going to come off on the worse side of that one. From your standpoint, because I always like to see how the drivers feel over it, was it maybe a bit eager on your side, or do you feel that Nick could have done more?
I think it's eager on my side, but after looking at it, I feel like Nick takes like a bit of an early apex. You know, when I looked at it, I feel like, you know, he kind of turned in a bit earlier than he normally would, and you know, whether that's because I'm there or not, you know, it's whatever. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, because of course you get P4, and then the feature race. You're in a good little battle. All throughout the dry stint. Did you know the rain was always coming, firstly?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why the guys pitted it. It said it was going to be heavy rain at the end, so, you know, there was 2 tiles of wet weather, and even throughout the race, like, you knew your mediums would get to the rain. Like, it was not really a doubt. So I don't really understand why people pitted, but it is what it is.
So, and then once the rain came, You just kind of kicked into another gear. You seemed to settle very quickly to the conditions, and the gap just built and built and built to the point in the end I never even realised it was at the end of the race. I was very
Yeah.
anticlimactic when you crossed the line. I was like, oh, Mike's won.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I felt like in the dry I kind of had the pace. It was the DRS was kind of just messing me up. Like I was setting faster laps, and then obviously the guys in DRS were taking it away from me. So if you think about that, like I definitely had probably a few tenths on people today, but yeah, once it went to the wet, I don't know if Con got held up in the pits or something, but I looked up and it was a 3 second gap, and then I kind of just, that allowed me to kind of relax, if you get me. I could push, but I was never kind of on the limit, if you get me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the main thing, of course, Mike, is the gap extension, or the retake of control of the championship, and put some good distance between yourself and Rage.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I don't know what happened, Rage, but I think probably on the course of the season, I probably deserve whatever the gap is now.
Yeah.
Obviously, Monaco, I think I retired, and then Spain. But other than that, I mean, I think I've been pretty much up there every race. So I think, yeah, I think I deserve probably to get my gap back, because there was a few races where I had a gap and I kind of got bullied out of it.
Yeah. But still, you're doing what you need to do to be OTL's first back-to-back champion. Is that your aim?
Of course, of course.
So
obviously,
like
constructors as well, double back-to-back, maybe, you never know.
Well, Red Bull have had a good day in the office today. I think they'll close the gap.
Yeah.
It's going to be very close going into the next race, actually, between Red Bull and McLaren. Very, very close. So that is a fight that is something everybody needs to bear in mind about as well. You know, as well as drivers' titles, there's big battles in that constructors' fight, because it's usually you and Con having a battle, and Mikey and Rob, you know. To get a look at draw, Rob can be right there. So that is a battle that's wide open, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. The constructors that's gonna be a tough one. If I can win that, I'll be very proud, because obviously, no disrespect to Rob, but Mikey and Con are always up there at the top, you know. So yeah, so it's gonna be a big team effort to win that, but we'll see where it takes us.
Oh, sorry, on you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like the first few tracks of the season I was never looking forward to, so we're kind of coming into a good patch now, hopefully.
Mike's turf, and you get it on the running of the season, so that's best case scenario, and you take control of the championship to get that running, so it's looking good.
Yeah, hopefully.
So very good job today, Mike.
Thank you.
It was a very, very good drive, and some good battling as well. There's some good wheel-to-wheel action in there between yourself and Rage.
Yeah, the only one I didn't go side by side with was Con. I thought there was a few times he maybe would have had a wee go at me, but I think he just wasn't close enough or whatever.
Well, I guess we will find out now, Mr. Con. P2, you got to P2 in the end, of course. Nick having his moment in that maybe gave a couple of positions, but I felt you qualified, or you started that race out of position anyway. Yeah, So it gave you a bit of a job to do come the race, because I think you'll always feel, especially at a track like Silverstone, like you've got the pace to challenge Mike and Rage and Nick. Just the position kind of left you out of that fight early doors. Yeah. And did something happen when the wet weather came, or was it just one of the... Yeah. Aye, it's one of the ones you could have pushed and maybe closed the gap, but then you could have quite as easily ended up in the wall and it's all for nothing, right? And I would actually agree with Mike. I think we've seen a very subdued Con today. You were very timid. We'd usually see you firing that nose in there and giving people the sweats, but I think you were quite chill. And of course, Mike leads and extends the championship and puts himself a little bit out of reach, but you closed the gap quite dramatically there to Rage. I think it was only 20 points between yourself and Rage going into tonight, and I think you could be pretty much even leaving tonight. So you are very much in the fight now, Con. The last 6 races I think are just as big for you as they are for Mike and for Rage. So that, yes, six to go, and I think 40 points separating our top 3, so or 30 points, so it's very much on between you all. So very well done today, Con. It's good stuff. As I say, I like to see you ripping us oldies and showing that we can still mix it. You're one of the only guys that can do it for us. And yeah, very good job in the P2, and good luck chasing down these young pups. So I guess no Connor Kid and no Nick. They're both joined to the party, but none joining us. So I guess I will just wrap it up with driver of the day, and it's an interesting one, but I'm intrigued really of who. There was a couple of drivers that stood out. I think Nelly had a good race. He was one to note for sure. Mike, of course, after what was not the best day last week, we could say, right?
Yeah.
Bounces back strong. That should always be recognised. And Con just plugging away in there. If Connor Kidd was a reserve, I'd say he'd have probably deserved it. But I think today, in the grand scheme of things, I think Mike does deserve it. I know that maybe extends that lead to the championship.
Finally.
But Mike gets driver of the day today. But again, notable mentions in the likes of Nelly, who has maybe not been performing his strongest, but drove a solid P6 today, made a lot of positions early in the race. So a good turn of fortune for Mr. Nelly. And yeah, Con me a good drive. Mr. Rage bottled it. There's a surprise. And but yeah, Mike stands out the most for me at the front, especially when the wet weather came in. He was just kind of, although Con did say that he just chilled out, the pace was still growing in the early phases of that. So on that note, Mike gets driver of the day. It's an extra point for him, and just a little bit more stress for oh, is it? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So that's not even deliberate. So there you go. Your endeavours paid off eventually.
Finally.
So on that note, join us on Wednesday with Scarlett and Adam for some HOR sprint at Britain, and we have the world record holder in the lobby, so just flinging that out there for the world. We will see you then.